Welcome back to Avalon and Ninth. Please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel with another plan with me. This one is January 4th through the 10th. I had to look at it because I don't have dates up on that planner of mine. Anyways, so I've done a couple of weeks of rewind spreads going on here, and I still have to film New Year's Eve week. I want to really use that artwork that I had there. So I still have to film that. That will come down in a later time. I just have to print off a sheet for date covers and glitter headers. That's the only sheet that I'm missing, so I need to do that. But yeah, I talk about this later in another video about trying to figure out which way that I'm going to do things in terms of filming and stuff. But anyways, let's talk about this one. So this kit is an exclusive art kit to my shop. I feel this is a really great anytime kit. And especially with the way that like 2020 went, and obviously how 2021 starting to go, like getting food delivered to you is like something that is very much that can happen. My neighbors constantly are having food delivered to them. I've even seen it that sometimes 3 times a day they're having food delivered to them. Granted, one of them works from home, so he's not out in the office, but I'm just like, wow, getting like a lot of food going on there. But anyways, I wanted like a very food central kit. I love food. I love trying different foods. My kids love food. Like, and sometimes you just want to have like a whole bunch of different foods and just enjoy the evening and people's company that you have there in your house, meaning your family. And so I wanted this. I felt like this was a good kit to do right after the first of the year. It isn't seasonal in any way, which makes me segue into a different topic. I know last year, especially like Christmas time, I'd gotten a lot of people asking if any more like Christmas kits were coming or anything like that. Like I really failed on seasonal kits last year, and part of that was because I'd upticked the amount of custom arts I was doing, and there was a lot of themes that I, one, had not seen out there, or 2, had seen out there but was not like my color scheme or the way that I wanted it to be done. And so I really wanted to focus on that. And plus, it's just me, so it is a little bit harder to not only get some of those things that I want, but then also some of those things that, you know, are needed, like, say, the seasonal stickers. So one of my goals is to work more into getting some more seasonal kits into the mix. There are some definite, so I mean, I have my Valentine's Day one. I'm not huge on St. Patrick's, so I don't really ever do that. I did have a hand-drawn kit last year, but I didn't bring it back this year. Easter is not something that I'm, you know, totally do. Partly because I just am not a pastel person. And I've thought about which, like, custom Easter kit to do, and that one's just hard for me. Just hard for me. But anyways, I will be working on like the more seasonal aspects because I know people want some of those seasonal aspects. So I do promise that they are coming, and they are coming in different types of ways. But anyways, I really love having anytime kits because it just makes things so much easier for stuff. And I'm getting ahead of myself, or behind myself, for the video. So on Monday, it was school. Of course it was school. And I marked that with a sticker from Happy Dia. The school time sticker is a custom script from my shop. That would be font number 5. And I do mention this in another video as well, but I will be changing that custom scripts up. So, yes. I also had massive amounts of printer problems this week. Like, so much that I was ready to chuck things out. Not a week that I needed to have printer problems. I had all 3 of my main printers, because I have a total of 5 printers that I use for printing stickers, but 3 of them exploded ink all over me. Like, my hands were disgustingly gross, and I had even mentioned it in the live that I had with Caitlin. So yeah, but that day I had to upload sub photos because sub photos go live on the 5th. Had to work on some PR samplers for our new PR team, print new releases, finish designing, and do my out of stock list. And on Tuesday, we're going to put the Eat, Sleep, Repeat sticker right up top, because sometimes that's how I feel. It was another school day, so balance, I guess balance is kind of my word of the year. Balancing the business with balancing the growing educational needs of my kids with homeschool, balancing being the only parent here, balancing everything that goes with housework and church and activities, and then ensuring that I'm okay as well. So you're going to hear the word balance. I don't ever do a word of the year, but I've really noticed that the past couple of weeks it's been a word I've been using a lot to just kind of help keep me grounded and making sure that I'm not letting one area take over the other. So it was school time on the 5th. Sticker is from Once More with Love, and then added a little checklist there, and the little checklist that's on there is, the little icon, it's French fries. I thought that was so cool, because who doesn't love French fries? If you don't like French fries, let me know down below, and let me know why you don't like French fries, because I love French fries. I love French fries. Anyways, subs went active that day, had to fill ink and upload new releases, and then it was a keep on printing day. So I filled ink multiple times this week and had multiple cartridges exploding on me and ink going everywhere, and it was just, it was a very, very frustrating week in terms of printers. But I used one of my favorite printing stickers from Paper and Thread. And then that evening, I had my live with Caitlin. And this was we got fancy that week. Because it was the Get Fancy for the lives for the anniversary of TPC. And so I winged my liner. I had red lipstick on, and we got fancy. But then you saw my hands, and they were covered in black and blue ink, and it was just gross. It's that's not being fancy. My goodness. Anyways, we're gonna move on. But the ink is just killing me sometimes. So, and can I just say how much I love sticky notes? I'm so excited that this month, with the reformat of the monthly functional subscription, that you get, if you order the regular version, you get not only the big sticky notes, but you're going to get the miniature sticky notes. I love sticky notes so much. I think they add so much to the spread, and they're just, I love them. So, Wednesday, full box at the bottom, like always. Move to the top, we've got sticky note, for school time. Mark that with a sticker from Happy Dia. And then I had a 10 o'clock meeting with my bookkeeper to get everything started. So I have hired a bookkeeper for this year in terms of being balanced so that, not everything is happening. So I had a meeting with him to go over the software, make sure we're kind of on the same page, and to kind of get our schedules together for when we need to do that. And then I had to pay taxes, you guys. Seriously? I had to pay taxes. It was, that's how I felt. I think that's how everybody feels when they pay taxes. Unless you're the person that's not actively having to, do the work of, looking at the numbers and figuring it all out and putting it into this and doing that and actually typing in the, accounts that you're going to pay it from. Maybe that's not how you feel, but that's how I felt. But it's done, it's over with, and taxes are paid. And that sticker was from Bubble One Stickers Co. And then I had to update the stock numbers because sale day. So one of my goals, the goal this year is to not continuously let things sell out. So There's only a couple of things that will have unlimited amounts because that's like custom scripts, and like foiled date dots and things like that. Like some of that is just things that won't have consistent numbers, but for like everything else, like kits and other things in my shop, they are most definitely going to be limited stock. Like what we have on hand is what we have on hand, and then I will replenish those whenever. That is one of the things that I really, really, really am going to stick to this year because it just makes life so much easier. Planner covers will never be limited in stock, because those are made to order. So a lot of things are going from made to order to actually being ready to stock or ready to ship and in stock. So anyways, that was my big spiel. But after updating stock, my children had Taekwondo that night and used the sticker from Bubblemon Stickers Co. And then on the way home was listening to the Big Old Live that night. And this last cycle, man, my computer and my phone just did not want to let the lives actually happen. And that was very, very frustrating because I couldn't interact with everybody like I wanted to, because it was like, oh, your video's been interrupted. Check back at a later time. And I'm like, no, I'm missing out on the fun stuff. So it was very, very disappointing. But Thursday, we moved the full box up to the top. We had another day of school. Made sure to activate the code. Oh, the school time sticker is from Once More with Love. Activated the code. Marked that the sale starts that day, and used a sticker from Fox and Cactus, which is absolutely perfect for what I think TPC is. We had Taekwondo that evening, and then it marked that with a sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co. and had a cutting day. And I was like, what am I going to use here? Do I want to use another functional box? What do I want to use here? I have the script, and I opted to take just a couple pieces of the washi strips and put them there, and then just layer over cutting day over that. And then that way, that's just what it was. I didn't have to pull out another sticker, and I really love how that looks. I love that kind of layering effect. So I'm going to definitely try and do that more often this go around this year. I'm like making mental notes of what I want to do differently in my spreads this year, because I don't want to be monotonous and boring, because that's no fun. I want to I already feel like I'm monotonous and boring and doing the same staggering and stickers that I use, but I love them. They just work for me. They're so functional for me. So that's kind of why I use them. Friday, we had another school day. Marked that with a sticker from Happy Daya, and then put down this full box that has pints of ice cream and cookie dough chocolate chip ice cream and onion rings and Chinese food, and just I'm like, yeah, I can get all around that. I'll eat some Chinese food and some onion rings or curly fries, whatever they want to. I say onion rings, but as I look at them closer, they're actually looking like curly fries. So yeah, whatever you want them to be, that's what they will be. So worked on answering emails that day. Marked it with a sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co. Pulled the pick list. So one of the things that I'm going to work on with sales this year is that on the second day of sale is pulling the pick list to see what sold a lot that first day, so that do I need to start printing anything to maintain stock over the weekend. And I only had to print a couple of things because I had done a pretty good job at stocking up kits for the sale. So I only had to print a couple of things. Definitely was not too long with getting the orders out this time. So normally, because I'm obviously, this is a rewind spread, and so I'm kind of saying things out of there. Normally I'm at a solid 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks before I'm getting orders out, and that's because some of the things sold out. This time I was more at a week and a half, which was amazing. I like that one. I still will not fill orders until after the sale is over, is kind of what I'm still thinking, just so that I can batch things in very, very large batches, and do custom scripts in very large batches, which let's get through this and then I'll tell you the which. So then I worked on printing stock, which was from a sticker from Paper and Thread. I had to pick up a package at the post office, so I used a sticker from Joy of Planning, and then we had to pick up house. On Saturday, I had my double box and my weekend banner. So my which is our number one seller this last year. Number one seller, meaning the most things we sold this last year were custom scripts. Holy cow, you guys. Thank you. Followed by that, in the number 2 spot was date dots. So custom scripts and date dots is where they're at. So I am going to reformat the entirety of the custom scripts because I'm going to change things up. I'm not going to base things off of width anymore. I'm going to base them off of height. So that way you can get things that are going to fit in your sidebar, like habit trackers, and then go up from there. So if you want larger ones that are like this, you're working on a height base because you want it to fill a half box. And I think that's going to be better. But nothing will be over 1 inch. Like, I will not let it be wider than an inch. So it could vary in height just slightly. But I am going to, so there's your little sneak peek of what's going to be coming up this next month. Is a whole reformatted way of doing custom scripts. And that's just been based on experience of doing a number one seller of the year. And we're going to add some new fonts, some fonts that are pretty popular in the planner community, but ones that I absolutely love for myself. So I did have to order groceries on Saturday, and it was another cutting day and printing day because, like I said, I pulled that pick list. Worked on picking up the house, and then that evening I jumped into the bathtub and did some reading. So that is, if I'm jumping into the bathtub, I'm also bringing a book to read, and that is where I get a lot of massive amounts of reading done without being bothered. So I really enjoy that. So I do try to take, a bath for myself 1 to 2 times a week, if not sometimes more, just depends. And it's just a way of decompressing. Some people run 5 miles to decompress. I like to jump into a bubble bath or a very hot bath with a book, and that's how I decompress. So on Sunday, I had to pick up some groceries, used a sticker from Stick With The Plan Co., and then I needed to send a payment off for the for something that for TPC. And then we lesson planned. So my son and I, every Sunday, we work on lesson planning for the upcoming week, and that gets his week set up, and that gets me kind of in the mode of what needs to be done and gauge how things are needing to be done. And once again, here's the word, balance things. Because some weeks for school are very, very intense, and I have to be able to balance that with what is going on in the business, so that I'm not letting either one slide to the side and not be important. They're both very, very important things, and I work on them equally as hard. So we have Joy of Planning. Joy of Planning is what was lesson planned, and then emails from the Coffee Monsters Co., which as of now, I am no longer answering emails on Saturdays and Sundays unless it's a sale weekend. And I'm doing that for balance, to kind of, separate some of the things, not because I'm trying to ignore anybody. It's just more so that I'm not constantly feeling like this is always pulling at me and feel like I'm failing. I deal with it. And a lot of shop owners will tell about, the feeling of failure and not living up to it and stuff. And a lot of that is just internal, what we put on ourselves. But anyways, I am not answering emails on Saturdays and Sundays unless it's a sale weekend. And then I worked on PR codes that day, and then, like I said, it was a work day. Moving on to the sidebar, I added a no spend. It was a sale weekend, so there was a couple of orders that I placed within the TPC sale, but I did fairly well. I only shopped 2 days, so 5 days I didn't. And then working day was working 7 days a week. And I'm really trying to look at that where maybe Saturdays and Sundays are not such big working days, but I know during the sale weekends they're going to have to be. So, but I am definitely going to be tracking the days in just one area that I can look. That way I can have data over time of what needs to change. So being an adult, that was everything that just revolved around the household. No taekwondo the first couple of days that week. We did do taekwondo on Wednesday. There was no dance at all this week. They were waiting an extra week. Recycling day on Friday, cleaning time on Saturday, and then Sunday was prep day. Went ahead and added this full box to the bottom, another glitter header, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some deco in between the two glitter headers there because there's not anything else that I need to put down there. And that's just kind of what I'm going to do. If in the sidebar, if I do a sidebar, if I have any extra room, I'm going to use the deco because I've added more deco to our deco page just for all of that. But seriously, like, there's just still so much left in this kit, and it's amazing, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this spread, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!